Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about having a mobile app developed and kind of go over the process. We've had, a couple of individuals in some companies, contact me and want to know more about the process. And I thought, well, if people are contacting us, there's probably even more out there that want to know how this, the whole process kind of works. So, the first step, of course, is to have an idea. A lot of people have them. But the next, after you have the idea, what you want to do is you really want to sit down and kind of formulate it. Is it going to be something that makes money? Is it going to be, something of entertainment? If your goal is to just build something viral right out of the gate, then you kind of probably already failed, just because, virility does not happen by choice. It happens by chance. Your next step is to kind of, take your idea from your head, write it down on paper, do some research, look at some other apps, unless you're building something that's completely new, never been done, which is entirely possible. Not likely, but it is possible. You want to make sure that, you have all of your process in line. You want to, jot down your ideas for the app, things that you'll need, whether it be a designer, if you'll need a copy editor, say for multiple languages, are you going to need content? Say it's a video intro or some sort of a walkthrough to explain this new cool app you really want to show to customers. Well, obviously you need some sort of a video person. The next step is to find a development partner, either bring somebody into your company or hire a third party such as my company. And then that person is to sit down with you and kind of really build out the process and what it's going to take, what you're going to have to provide, what that development company is going to provide. If you're going to learn how to develop the app yourself, by all means, go ahead. It's a lot of fun. Don't expect it to happen overnight. It definitely takes a lot of work. Now, in terms of if you're having the app developed, you want to obviously, price is important. But one thing I will caution is, especially with app development, there is a lot of inner workings. There is a lot of trial and error. These developers should definitely have shipped some apps to kind of know the process, know what Apple's looking for, know what Google's looking for. Other than the specific things about like screenshots and stuff, this is interchangeable between all the app stores, whether it be Google Play, Windows if you so see it, and of course the Apple App Store. If you're going to work with a development company, you want to look at their portfolio, you want to look at their past work, you want to ask them a bunch of questions. You want to, ask them, over the course of X amount of years or whatever that they've been doing this, what sort of issues have they come up to and how have they solved them? What type of brands have they worked with? Is their apps available to download in the App Store right now? So if they built apps for themselves, or have they built apps for other people, but can you go and download that app? Can I check it out? Can I see what you did? As well, you want to make sure that when you're talking with an app development company, that you ask them what their role was. Did they design the app? Did the customer come with the design already completed? Did they, it's funny to say, but make sure that they develop the app. They could have just been a marketing company that, has now decided they're going to get into app development, and because they have that one piece, but they don't necessarily have the other pieces. A lot of effort should go into things that you really may not even pay attention to. Like, one of the things to start is the app icon. So when you're designing the look and feel of your app, the app icon and the app screenshots, which we'll get into in a minute, are the first things that a potential customer sees on the App Store. And when you have a really shoddy app icon, then people kind of get the feeling that, well, if the app icon's not good, it doesn't convey what this app does, I'm going to go download something else. And in a position where there's so many apps to somebody that can download, you kind of have to make a really great first impression. Now that you've vetted your developer, your next step is to obviously kick off development. Make sure that there's milestones on the project, make sure that there's payment milestones as well as progress milestones. And what I mean by that is, if you're having an app developed, they're more than likely going to want a down payment to make sure that the app is a real project. And then milestones will vary by the project, but usually it's wrapped around design. So once the app is designed, another payment is made. When development is complete, or if it's a larger project in the middle of development, a known milestone going in, another payment is made, and then usually the final payment is made before it goes to the App Store. The reason I say before is because, for instance, with our contracts, we have the final payment is due when the app is completed. We will work with the customer till the end to make sure that it is submitted, make any changes that are required. But timelines are not including app submission. And the reason for that is because Apple has a wide range of anywhere between 2 to 3 days to 21 days if they're really slammed for review. So once the app is developed, you want to get it testing. And by that, I mean you want to send it to your friends, your family, your customers, if you have them, and get some feedback. Definitely before you submit to the App Store, you can use, actually Apple has their own testing platform, used to be another company, they bought them, as well as you can use Hockey App, which is what we use. It's actually owned by Microsoft now, but fully integrates with Google and iOS. Allows you to get feedback in real time, track bugs, crashes, that sort of thing. Now, once your app's developed, you'll have app screenshots, of course, of the running process. But a lot of people do, or say rather don't do, is the screenshots in the video you're allowed to upload to Apple should not just be a screenshot of your app. It should actually be an opportunity to showcase some features of your app with some supporting text around that image, to really show them what they're going to be getting when they download. Once the app is developed and it's been tested, everything's good to go, you're ready to go to the App Store, make sure that icon's buttoned up, make sure your screenshots are ready to go. Personally, I don't recommend taking screenshots until you're just about ready to submit, because you may make some changes from your beta testers and your users, and if your screenshots are a little bit different, no one's going to notice or care. But if they're very different, you add a new feature, you take away a feature or whatever, you definitely don't want to be putting some false advertising on the App Store. It will obviously cause distrust, but it'll also cause upset between users, because they may see a specific icon where they're like, oh, it has Facebook integration, and then they download it and you decided to take out Facebook integration because it didn't work for your business model. So just definitely make sure you take those screenshots towards the end. And you get into App Store optimization, or short for ASO. And what that is your title, your description, your category, your icon, your screenshots, and as well as tags. And you want to obviously make sure that the tags are relevant, but these are the things that people are searching on. And so you want to set up the category and the tags and all of that. And now you're ready to submit your app to the App Store. You submit it, it's all good. They review it, let's say first pass, it passes. Okay, great, your app is live and now you're a millionaire. Well, not exactly. Once the app is submitted to the App Store, it is sitting in a pool of probably, in a given day, a couple thousand, maybe tens of thousands of apps that have been submitted by other developers. So you obviously want to get people using your app. And one of the ways you can do that is if you have a customer list, you have, say, going back to that trucking example, obviously you have, customers and such that want to track their, deliveries or whatever happens to be the product. So you want to reach out to them, say that it's live. You more than likely enlisted some of your top customers as beta testers. You want to shoot out an email to them as well, and tell them it's live, share it with your friends, get it up on social media, make sure that all your channels are talking about it, and get a little bit of feedback. I like to wait just a little bit. Depends on if it's a day or a week. Really depends on the size of the app, size of the company, size of the budget. Get some real user feedback, not beta testers. Make sure that everything's good, and then start, placing some ads on, Google or Facebook or, whatever you're using to market the rest of your business. If you have one, definitely utilize that. If you're just starting out and this is, the app is the company, which is very common, then do some research for your industry and, your demographic and your niche, and make sure that you're, targeting to those people, whether it's posting on forums or Facebook groups or, going to physical trade shows and having printouts of the little things so people can download the app, whether it's a QR code or whatever, however you want to market your app, you definitely want to, obviously continue to run those channels. And then it's just, continued improvement. And the reason you want to go with a good developer, a good development company is, if, let's say a bug, software always has bugs. Your software has a bug, your app has a bug. If you use an offshore company, they're now on to the next, next project, next thing, whatever. They may get you in there at some point if they have time. If you go with a, more tailored local or semi-local company, you can call them up. You more than likely have the owner's information, or at the very least a project manager's information. And call them up, and your contract should have in it that bugs are covered under the maintenance contract or just included in the development process overall. What we do personally is bugs that we created or caused, we'll fix free of charge, ship a new app, usually group them together so we're not constantly shipping apps. If it's a change in the OS, say it's from Apple or Google, then we basically have to draw up a separate contract with that customer to have that fixed, because that was out of our control when we shipped. And really you just kind of start that iterative process. It's not a one-shot do this, and this, and your app will be insanely successful. It is a lot of trial and error, and as you start to develop more apps, if you're an individual that's developing apps, or if you're having them developed, you'll find that the more successful have multiple apps in the store, or they're business-centric and they provide a value to your business. And going back to the app development process, let's take the trucking example. You would end up having to have some sort of a database or some sort of a server component that the app is going to connect with. And you want to make sure that the development company that you're working with, at the very least, can work with that code, can work with that API or that service layer for the app. But ideally, they would be able to develop or manage that back-end component so that everything kind of comes together. Much like you wouldn't want one person designing your app and another person developing it, you kind of want to have it all, in one as much as possible. Coming up on 20 minutes, of course I'm going to shave it down somewhat. But I really just wanted to kind of go over the process. If you have any questions or comments on the process or anything that I didn't cover, definitely, leave a comment down below and, let me know. I'll definitely look at those. I respond to everybody. If you have a project in mind or you want some more insight on, how you could best go about it, even if you're not looking to hire us, definitely just get in touch with me. I'll be glad to help. I love helping out, fellow entrepreneurs that are starting up. Maybe it's a new business or an app for their existing business, or just have an idea. Definitely hit me up and I will, work with you. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if this is the type of content that you guys want to see, if you want me to dive deeper into the development process or the business process. I am working on some content surrounding that, but I obviously want to tailor it to the viewers. So definitely leave me a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see. And that's it. I will talk to you guys next time.